started back with the Camaro again. Well, it kind of became a snowball effect when I was doing the speaker wiring. I went ahead and pulled the dash out while I was there because I needed to replace my dash pad. It was cracked. Went and got my dash pad. There's my old dash pad cracked there. It's cracked on the other side there. You can kind of see 2 spots. I got this one here. It's a decent, little dusty, but it's in good shape. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and definitely put that in right now. I went ahead and removed my passenger side airbag. That dash my new dash came with one too. So I have 2 Camaro airbags. While I was there, I went ahead and removed the heater core and the air conditioning evaporator. I ordered a new evaporator, and I'm gonna reuse the heater core that was in it. It looks like a nice unit, so we'll see if that doesn't bite me in the ass later on. But yeah, I went ahead and got it all out. I'm starting to wrap it in the fuzzy interior Testa tape, the whole harness. GM wraps it in electrical tape in the factory. After the Testa tape seems to be a little more professional look and a little nicer tape. One roll so far has got me all of these legs that go up underneath the dash here. Look into all that stuff. I'm not 100% sure if I might use one roll just to do this one and get all these up and done. But yeah, there's like a tee off of stuff here that needs done up, and all this stuff needs done up, and all this needs unhooked and done up. Of course, I'm going to do the one that runs. That one's going to get done here real shortly. Right now I'm just doing all of the heater stuff and gonna get it down. I'm gonna at least get it down over and do all the body control module stuff. I'm gonna get everything under the dash done so far to get all that stuff wrapped and Testa tape. And if I don't end up having enough rolls to go back, I'll get more Testa tape and then I'll do the ones to the trunk. But yeah, for right now I just got this done up over the steering column there where it runs down. I got all that to do under there, but I got my RCA's ran and my backup camera RCA, my 4 channels, and my subwoofer RCA's. So they're all there right by the radio plug, which is awesome. Got all my heater stuff there pretty much done except for one leg. Then I got to run it back to the harness there. My fog light switch. Got a couple of fuses and stuff that run up to the dashboard when it gets done there. Yeah, got a couple of relays. I got to do like the heater relay and whatnot. I'm gonna do the whole doors and stuff too. Like I said, if I don't have enough, I'll end up ordering more probably. I don't think I'm gonna have quite enough. So, but yeah, it's looking good. It gives a little more of a professional look, even though you won't be able to really see in there. But yeah, it'll look nicer, and I'll know it's there, and I'll know I've done it. And I went through and looked through all the harnesses and fixed all of the hack job stuff that was done by the previous owner and whatnot. So that was kind of nice. Got all that out of there. Go over here. There's all of the wiring. There's the factory amplifier with the plug in it. There's wiring for the power seat that I removed. The relay box for your power windows. That's all removed. All the power window wiring is removed. All that stuff is there. So I'm thinking with just the wiring alone and the passenger side airbag, when I remove the driver's side airbag, I'm going to counteract my weight with my amp that I'm putting in, my amp and my sub. So yeah, I should be right around where I was. The power windows, once I remove them, that should be lighter there. Once I move the battery to the trunk, that'll get some more weight to the rear of the car. And the sub will be on the passenger, or on the driver's side. The battery will be on the passenger side, so that'll kind of help balance out the rear of the car a bit too. So yeah, I know I'm just trying to sound like I'm justifying a subwoofer. Yeah, I am. I want this to be, like I said, a well-rounded vehicle. I want it to be quick. I want it to handle, and I want to have a nice, comfortable ride. Like I want to have air conditioning, a nice stereo, and all that stuff. So, I mean, I still want it to ride like a sports car. Obviously, it's not going to ride like a really nice sedan, but nice luxury vehicle. But it's gonna. I want it to handle good, and I want to be comfortable driving it. I don't want to be uncomfortable driving it. I went ahead and did some stuff up under the hood here. I'm using this braided loom. This stuff here, I've got a bunch of different sizes. So far I did that one, I just had the quarter. I've got this, it's called Alex Alex Tech stuff you can buy off Amazon. There's 25 feet 3/8. I got 1/2 inch and 3/4, and then I got 1/4 inch. That's the stuff I've been using. It's really nice stuff. You just split it and run it. I may actually use this on some of the. I might use a 3/4 on the stuff running to the rear. I don't know yet. But yeah, I've been using that, and that stuff seems to be pretty awesome. It looks good under the engine bay. I'm kind of wanting to use it where you'll see it. That's what I did here. This has the poke through pins, so I had to cut it, and I extended it a little bit too because it wouldn't follow this nice curve, so I went ahead and did that. I had the poke through, so I cut it and soldered it back on there. Of course, the MAF connector, it's just unpins like normal, and I got that all braided up nice and looks pretty good. Tessa taped this going to the TPS sender and the IAC. They had butt connectors on it. I had to repair it. I believe the cam sensor, or is that the crank sensor? The cam sensor's in the back of the motor. Yeah, the crank's on the side. So yeah, the cam sensors got butt connectors on it, which I'm going to replace. Like I did the AC compressor cable that'll run down there, so that should be pretty nice. They also cut this off and butt connected it together, your pressure line for your air conditioning. So I got to go through and solder it back together. Yeah, they just kind of hacked a bunch of stuff up and butt connected it back together. So I'm gonna go ahead and solder and heat shrink some of the stuff together. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do with it. But yeah, I'm gonna finish wrapping the wiring loom with Tessa tape tonight and go home. I got a lovely head cold, so I'm not feeling too hot, but I'm still here wrenching on this car. I want to get it closer while everything's fresh in my head. I don't have the evaporator yet. I'm waiting on it, so once I get it, I can go ahead and throw the AC unit back together. Then I can start laying the brace in for the under dash, and then once I get everything taped up, I can put the dash in, have all that done, put it all back together, have the dash back in it. Then I can start working on doing some sound deadening on the floor. The top of the dash is actually sound deadened pretty good. I may put a couple of pieces over these silver pieces there. I don't know yet. Might cut a piece and go on the inside of them. But yeah, really that stuff's not too bad. With the dash panel itself, between the windshield and the upper dash panel, between the windshield and the the windshield and whatever, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and put a piece of foam on the front of that just to keep some of the vibration down. I went ahead and got rid of my Corvette logoed shaved Camaro logo. Put my silver one in there that says Camaro. I know it don't match, but I really wanted to say Camaro again, so I went ahead and threw that on there just because that's one of my favorite things on the rear of these cars, so I really like that. And I definitely wanted that back on there. Yeah, just gonna go ahead and get her cleaned up. Like, I gotta do some stuff to get it running so I can tune it, so I can actually take it for some drives and tune it. Like I said, I gotta replace this brake rotor. I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna replace all the brake rotors yet, and I don't know if I'm gonna replace all the brake rotors yet. Like, I want to do the CTSV upgrade. That requires me to get bigger wheels. My bigger wheels are going to be kind of an investment, so I may just get some rotors, some cheap rotors and pads for right now, just so I can get it drive and get it some tuning, get some miles on the car, and see how well it's going to run and everything. So before I go into it that far, but yeah, I'm pretty far into it now with this harness. So yeah, I'm going to definitely put some work into it, put some love into it. So yeah. Pretty much just a quick update on what's going on in the car. So yeah, like I said, got all my wiring deleted out that I don't need, got some of the stragglers out. I'm gonna definitely keep some pins out of that harness mess because I depinned some stuff from the fuse box, and one of them is gonna be a perfect spot to put a keyed accessory for keyed 10 amp fuse for a wideband. So I'll definitely do that because I'm going to definitely put a wideband in this car so I can do wide open throttle tuning and being able to notice air fuel ratio is just driving is kind of nice too. So I'm gonna do that. Put a gauge pot up in the peller like my white Camaro had. So I like that, but it only had the oil and water temp in the peller. So I'm definitely just gonna do. I wanted to do something other than what was in the factory gauge cluster, but they never worked right. So I just went ahead and put them up on the peller. I thought it looked cool back when I was in high school, but now that I'm actually gonna have one that's air fuel ratio and probably an Aeroforce gauge, so I can do like intake air temps and stuff like that, which will be kind of nice. Give me a little more driver information. But yeah, once I get my evaporator and get that stuffed back in there, I got to rebuild the spot where I cut out, because you actually got to, I don't know if you have to necessarily drop the motor to get the air box out, but it looks like a tight fit. I'd figure you'd have to split it to pull it out. But you just cut the bottom there, and I didn't save the pieces enough to glue it in or anything. I'm just going to build it up with some aluminum foil tape right here, and some seal tape, some butyl sealant stuff. Just kind of seal it up nice. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get all this stuff tested tape tonight, and yeah, then I can get some of the stuff ran. Like I got to run the 4-aught for the battery relocation. I got to get some first. I got to go ahead and get some ordered. But yeah, this is what we're doing tonight. So yeah, catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one.